right. Welcome to EETF number 76, 2024 in review. I'm Patrick. I hope you guys are doing great. Tonight, we have a fuller than full house. I have 6 guests with me. And let's start with Mike Drew. How are you, sir?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to this all year.
Awesome. Glad to have you. We also have Hector Contreras. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Doing okay. Doing quite okay. We also have Kyle Hildreth. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks.
Awesome. We also have, for the occasion, back on the show, John Mutford. How are you, sir?
I'm wonderful. Looking forward to chatting with all of you fine folks.
Awesome. Perfect. Welcome back. We also have Nick Bamback. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having me back, Patrick. And thank you all again for allowing me to come on. And also, Maryland is still alive and well.
Yeah.
That's a joke for my other podcast. I had all these guys on.
First, I thought you said Maryland, the state.
Yeah,
and
I thought the exact same thing. And so hopefully many people listen to both podcasts.
I'm not saying a word because I don't want to
No, you're going to jinx it.
have our death pool.
I'm pretty sure you mentioned Jimmy Carter on the last one.
I did not.
That was Nick or Mutt and Tony. You know that.
We will fact check that one. Welcome back, Nick. We also have Woody Meacham. How are you, sir?
I'm fantastic, Patrick. Thank you for allowing me to pressure you into my 3rd year of this review.
Well, glad I could help. All right, so let us start with the best of 2024. We will cover movies, TV, and music. We will start with movies, top 5 for each of us, and we will go in a rotation. So let's start with Mike Drew. What was your number 5 for 2024?
All right. In the shortest chapter of this episode of the podcast, because I'm not a movie person, as we know, I don't watch nearly as much in the way of film as I do of television. I actually struggled to get 5. So I'm going to say 5 and 4 are kind of honorable mentions. Number 5 is Red One, which I just watched and I actually quite liked it. And I could see it kind of becoming a annual Christmas movie. It's a fun kind of action. My 13-year-old really liked it. So I think that's an honorable mention. I'm going to go with another honorable mention. Sorry.
Yeah. Let's do. Each of us will do our number 5.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I misunderstood.
So we will get back to you, Mike, in a few minutes. Hector, what was your number 5?
My number 5 was a Hulu original called Mr. Crockett.
Oh yeah, okay.
Crockett was a horror movie that came out of nowhere. No one has talked about it since, and I love the idea that it's one of those. It's going by how's the expression?
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth. That exactly. But yes, do enjoy that.
All right.
What is it? I don't even know what that movie is. What is that?
You know what? I'm not going to say it. You just have to watch it.
I just have to watch it. All right.
Thanks. Yeah.
Thanks, bud.
No, it's like a Freddy Krueger type of serial killer. He comes through a portal and takes children into his world, which is a kid's show.
Oh, wait. You talked about this on a previous episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I don't listen to any of the previous episodes. So
I listened to our last one today. Thank you very much.
Love you.
Nicely done. Thank you, Hector. Kyle, what was your number 5?
I actually looked through all the movies this year, and I watched 6 movies. So my number 5 movie is not great. Harold and the Purple Crayon. It's a kid's book from France, maybe.
I love the way you say crayon.
Crayon?
Crane.
Crayon.
I know what it is. I haven't seen it yet, though.
It's
a very famous children's book.
It's a great book
that it's based on. Yeah,
and it's not a great movie. It's an okay movie.
So is he grown up? Is that what? Because I don't know what the movie's about, but I've seen it stars.
The little bald kid in the book.
Yeah,
he's not in this movie.
Oh,
so but there's a guy who's grown up. It's Zach Levi.
That's it.
Yeah, right. That douchebag.
Oh.
Did he steal your lunch money with this?
Hold on, Mutford, please. American douchebag.
Yeah, American douchebag.
Yeah,
American
pretty
douchebag.
well.
Zachary Levi.
ADB.
That's number 4 on my list, actually. So yeah, it's not a great movie, but it tries. Your kids might like it. That's what you want to hear, right?
Nice warm review.
Yeah.
A warm endorsement.
Lukewarm.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks, Kyle. Okay, so John, what about your number 5?
Well, most of my 5 are going to be horror, but listening to Hector, I can't believe that movie hasn't crossed my path. So I'm looking forward to watching that one. But I'm not going to start with horror. My 5th, and I might go back on this tomorrow because I literally just watched this movie today, and that's bold to stick a movie in your top 5, because right when you just saw it. But it's a Emilia Perez movie.
Yes.
Wow.
It was so fucking good. And I know Selena Gomez is getting Oscar buzz, I should say, about it. Yeah. I don't agree with that, I will say. She was okay. But the movie itself was fucking amazing.
I mean, you guys know that I don't really like musicals, but I love the director. Jacques Audiard is probably my 3rd favorite director.
Who's your 1 and 2? Sorry.
Probably Fincher and Scorsese.
Okay.
That's me too, Patrick.
There you go. And Jacques Audiard has done many incredible movies. Look him up if you want to. And so I don't like musicals, but since it was Audiard, I give it a shot. I tried 3 times and I couldn't make it past halfway point. But what I respect about that movie, it swings for the fences. Big time.
Yes.
That's what I heard because I haven't seen it yet because everyone I talked to, it's been mixed receptions, but they sort of said you have to like be in the mood. Like you can't just go into this movie sort of like willy-nilly, like, you just watch a Netflix movie or a Prime movie or whatever. And this, like, you kind of have to be in the right mindset.
Yes.
And I feel like for me, it feels like Zoe Saldana is the one that they keep saying will win supported actress. I mean, I didn't see it yet.
I've heard the same, and I would agree.
But it's really going to be Ariana Grande, I think, for Wicked. But that's another conversation.
That's a different episode, Nick. Come on.
I know.
Or is it?
My son said Wicked was his favorite movie this year.
Wow.
It was good.
But, okay, so yeah.
Different episode.
Emilia Perez, yeah. Thank you, John. Nick, what was your number 5?
So my top 5 are going to be ones that I've seen that I think are the ones that resonated with me the most at the movies. And the first one is Memoir of a Snail, which is directed by Adam Elliott. He does like stop motion animation. So he did like Mary and Max and Harvey Crumpet. I don't know if you guys have heard of those. He's like an Australian.
Mary and Max is brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's fantastic. And he doesn't really make a lot of movies or work. So anything he ever does is sort of like an event. And this one stars Sarah Snook of Succession, Cody Smith McPhee, Eric Bana, and Nick Cave is even in this movie. And it's sort of about the life of these 2 children, and they both sort of go in different directions. And it's a very bleak film, but it's also a very beautiful film. So I highly recommend it. I hope it gets buzz for the animation Oscar. I mean, he's won before for animated short, so it's plausible, but he's a really great filmmaker. I highly recommend it. It's not for the weak hearts, like not a kid's movie at all.
Okay.
But I don't know if anyone else has seen it, but it's really good.
All right. Thank you, Nick. Woody, what was your number 5?
So, like Mike Drew, I've not seen very many movies this year. I do not have a number 5.
Okay. Do you have
I'm
honorable
passing.
mention?
No, I am passing.
Okay.
I'm passing on number 5 because I could not come up with 5 movies I really liked. I did like Red One, Mike Drew. I liked it. Not top 5, but I'm passing on that one for top 5.
Not even top 4
Red
because
One
you don't have a number 5.
Nope.
Can we get an extra one, Patrick? No,
Nope.
kidding.
Nope.
What a tease, Woody.
Can you
I
watch
know.
a movie right now and then come back to
All right.
Okay.
Let me log out. I'll come right back.
All right.
Okay. So I struggled to find a clear number 5. I mentioned Fincher a few seconds ago. I'm going to say The Killer, my number 5. But it was either that or this is going to blow your mind or maybe not, or maybe bore you to death. But as a possible number 5, I had a Romanian movie called Do Not Expect Too Much from the End of the World.
Oh, I love that movie.
Me too.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. No,
Okay.
no one knows a Romania movie. Come on, dude. You're
Jesus.
Oh, wait. Of course, Nick knows the fucking movie.
I love the title.
Yeah, I've actually seen the trailer.
It's wild. I've never seen anything like this. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Oh,
Satirical, absurdist, dark comedy. Yes.
MCU? No.
Yeah. It's on Disney Plus.
No, RCU, Romanian.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't even begin to describe this movie. It's, look it up. And like you mentioned, Nick, you have to be in a certain mindset to be ready for that movie.
All right, give me the title again. I want this title like 2 more times.
Yes. Do not expect too much from the end of the world. And
It's like a Billy Idol song. Or sorry, sorry.
Billy Ocean.
Billy Ocean. Thank you, boys.
Yes.
Oh, for 8 words. Yeah.
Yeah, my Romanian is shit, so I'm not going to try the original title. So, there you go.
It was the selection for international film from Romania last year. Not for this year's Oscars, but the one before.
Okay. So, it's a 2023 movie. I loved it.
Currently streaming on Mubi.
Okay.
Mubi? M-U-B-I? Is that Mubi or Mubi? I can't.
Movie.
Movie.
That's so close to Tubi, but not.
Hector's just making up channels now, you guys. Hey, everyone.
You can only guess what's on Booby.
That's the Indian version of Tubi, right? Mubai.
It's crazy. The last shot of the movie is a one take. It's 40 minutes long, and it's a TV interview and with all kinds of chaos going on. The camera doesn't move an inch. It's wild.
Right.
And I loved it.
Sold me.
Is someone from Tar in it? Like one of the people from Tar?
Yes, Nina Haas. Yes.
Yes, that's the one. Because it looked good. I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but it looked good.
Yeah, it's
Good for kids?
no, definitely not.
Okay.
Definitely not, because some of the language in it from one of the characters is
In
Romanian.
Gotcha.
Is it Romanian?
yeah, but the subtitles,
Oh, yeah.
it's like holy shit.
Romanian F-bombs.
Oh yeah, big time.
Love it.
So that's my honorable mention, if you like. Okay, so let's go back with the regular rotation. Mike, what's your number 4?
All right, number 4. I'm going to actually go with a 2023 film too, which I only saw this year. And that's Bank of Dave, which I've talked about on a previous episode. It's just kind of one of those nice movies that I like. It's, if you want the synopsis, go back and listen. But it's worth seeing. It's well done, and I liked it a lot.
I'm going to guess, is it British?
It is British, yeah.
Okay.
But not the Postal Service one. That was a TV show.
That might come up later.
Oh, sorry.
There you go. There you go.
Hashtag tease, everyone.
Hashtag tease. Okay, Hector, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is another horror movie called Late Night with the Devil.
Oh.
Don't know if everyone caught it. It just was. I heard mixed reviews, and I kind of waited till October to go to watch it. Finally, came out in March, but I'm so glad I did. I just thought it was just fun and wild, and just a real original idea to set it up almost in like a live, like Letterman type show, like 70s, it's just great. And then just things go wackadoodle.
That's in my top 10, Hector, in all seriousness. I loved it.
I do, yeah.
I heard some mixed things about it, but I love the aesthetics of it, and I love the fact that it does it in real time, but also David I can never pronounce his name.
David,
Yes.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal in it, and I just really, it's one of those, it's like 80 something minutes, 90 minutes, but it keeps you really hooked, like the whole time. Like you're not sure where the story's going. Oh yes, Chef's Kiss. It's in my top 10.
It's one that I've rewatched, and it held up even more the second time around. It was so good.
Is it in your top 5, John?
Yeah. So you know what? I was coming up with 5, and I wrote down my 5th hesitantly, and I was like, I feel like there's another horror movie that I want in this place. So honestly, I was going to say Abigail, but I'm going to throw Abigail out and say that.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck Abigail. Late Night.
So that was my way of sneaking in my honorable mention.
Okay, yeah, well done. Nicely done.
My daughter's name is Abigail, so you can't throw it out. You have to talk about her.
Oh,
she has a really big ego.
beautiful. Love,
just whatever.
love it.
Okay, whatever. It'll be the other podcast we talk about.
Okay. The parenting
EETF
podcast.
After Dark. Right.
Yeah. All right. So thank you, Hector. Kyle, what is your number 4?
Oh, first of all, my son, Hot Frosty. That's my honorable mention. That's my 6th movie I saw, and it wasn't good, but it was kind of all right. It's bad, but it's a Hallmark movie.
There's no but. It's just bad.
But it gives you what you want. If you want,
come on, Hot Frosty was Hot Frosty.
Is it like a hate watch thing?
If you hate it, yeah. If you hate those kind of movies, definitely.
I watched it because the lead is from Yellowknife, and he's
it's Lacey Chabert. Oh, this is
but he's
gold.
not hot, and the movie sucked.
Hold on, Lacey Chabert's from Yellowknife?
You're talking about Hot Frosty.
Yeah,
I think she is Canadian. Yeah,
she is Canadian.
No, Hot Frosty. The guy is from the
Frosty. Oh, the guy. Oh,
yeah.
John, we don't look at guys. We're not you.
You're gonna look at this guy. He's
Milligan.
Look at all of us.
All right, hold on. We're stepping on Kyle's review.
No, Kyle stepped on his own review. Hot Frosty is my honorable mention. My number 4 was Unfrosted, the Jerry Seinfeld movie.
Okay.
And by top 5, this is, again, my top 5 goes from to, hey, that's really good. So this is down the section still. It wasn't bad again. It has so many good people in it. And
it was not bad. It was not bad.
It wasn't terrible. There's some good jokes.
Oh my God.
It wasn't great.
I didn't mind it.
If you put the good half of Hot and Frosty or whatever that is, and then the good half
Frosty?
of Unfrosted, whatever it's called. Was it Hot Frosty?
Yeah. All right, hold on.
Frosty,
this is good. Kyle's, even though I yelled boo a lot of times, Kyle's review.
Kyle, I just learned, is this true? I could have misheard, but I'm positive I heard it correctly. Is there like a football game called the Pop-Tart Bowl now?
It is. And I said Tony Greathouse sponsored it last year.
Yes.
Because it's an unfrosted cinnamon Pop-Tart, which is what I call Tony Greathouse, an unsalted.
What?
Wow. I'm sorry. Everyone, go back in my Facebook.
Cut
Friend me on
that out.
Facebook.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah,
Friend me on Facebook, and then go like back a year.
Okay.
It is. No. This is, and they eat the sponsor.
Yeah, and the old sponsor, last year's sponsor, was like up roaming the upper deck. Apparently,
what?
Half eaten.
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
My God,
This
we're
is true,
stepping
folks.
all
This
over
isn't-
Kyle's review of this
That's all right.
movie. I apologize to everyone.
Right.
Yeah.
I just
Speaking
had
of upper
fun.
decker,
You're the
tell us more
one
about
stepping on-
Unfrosted.
I host this podcast, and I have no fucking idea what
Oh my
you're talking
God.
about.
It's a Jerry Seinfeld flick.
No, I know, but like the Pop-Tart stuff.
Oh, the football game.
Sidebar on
Yeah.
the Pop-Tart. Yeah.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
a whole other.
Everything except the football.
Yes.
Everything except the
Ooh.
Pop-Tart.
Yes. Okay,
So,
so,
Right, Kyle,
Unfrosted,
sorry.
yeah,
That's right.
please continue.
It was okay.
Done. Move on.
Yeah,
Wasn't
that's,
great, but okay.
That's a wrap. Okay.
I'm good.
Thanks. Thank
All
you.
right, hold on. So I'm from Michigan, for you guys who don't know. Battle Creek, Michigan, which is what this is based off of, is so fucking crazy. I'm leaving it at that.
How crazy is it?
I'm leaving it at that. Just look up Battle Creek, Michigan.
Oh, okay.
They literally made a mystery show called Battle Creek, Michigan. I like everyone's typing on. They're all typing right now, except John.
This is Kyle's review, and you're stepping all
Right.
over it.
I'm sorry. I'm enhancing his review. I'm done. Sorry. Love you. Thank you.
Patrick, you got that clown sound effect?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Well played.
All right. Okay. Okay, so that's... okay.
Who's after Kyle?
Yeah, it's John, actually.
You know what? I'll speed things along by saying my 4th was one we already talked about, Late Nights on Air.
All right. Okay, awesome. Thank you. You're a model citizen. All right. Next up, we have Nick. What's your number 4?
It's a scary thought, though.
My number 4 is A Real Pain, directed by Jesse Eisenberg. There's another reason why I like this, like Late Night with the Devil. It's only 90 minutes. And I feel like, especially in contemporary film, it feels like a lot of movies have very bloated runtimes, and I feel like they're longer than they should be. And this just feels like it's a good 90-minute comedy drama. And Karen Culkin is really phenomenal. He's one of the frontrunners for supporting actor. And, in many ways, he plays the same character like he does in Succession, but it's really phenomenal. And I really enjoyed it. And it's also really well written too, and it's a really good balance of comedy and drama that really goes for the heartstrings. And I think especially making a film about the Holocaust and like the memory of the Holocaust and like the legacy of it, and that's what these characters are coming to terms with, because it's their family heritage and like what does it mean to be Jewish. I think it's actually really an important film. So, but it's also very funny too. So I highly recommend it.
No, I agree. It's been on my list. I've been trying to watch it for 4 days.
So you haven't seen it?
No,
But you applauded when he said it, like you were so enthusiastic.
because I know I'm supposed to see it because Nick thinks it's awesome.
Oh, okay.
Mutford, don't encourage him. Let's go.
Don't you judge me for what I haven't watched.
It's one that I really think that everyone should watch. And it's, like I said, 90 minutes. Like, it's just a nice film to just kind of watch, and you don't have to really, commit too much to because of the length. So I wish more movies were like that. So
Agreed.
All right. Thank you, Nick. Woody, what is your number 4?
So I have a number 4. My number 4, because I realized I watched all the movies that Nick watched this year. And I was like, God, I haven't seen any of them. But my number 4, because it was visually awesome, is Furiosa.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
So just because of that alone, I want to go to a movie to watch something that's awesome, that just fills your eyes with like wonder and awesomeness. And so that was Furiosa for me. I'm done.
All right. No, yeah, that's perfect. For me, my number 4 was The Substance. We talked about it recently, and no need to repeat myself. So let's move things along and get back to Mike Drew for number 3.
For those of you who haven't listened to what Patrick said, go back 2 episodes and listen.
What a way to make people download the old, to add our numbers, right?
Come on, dude. I'm just trying.
I could use a few extra downloads.
Okay, number 3, Saturday Night. I haven't talked about it in the past because I've just recently watched it, but the whole take on that first episode of Saturday Night Live, I thought was really fun. And, being a bit of a Saturday Night fan for the last however many years of my life, it was interesting. I some really good performances. Don't have much more else to say, but if it sounds like your kind of thing, you'd probably enjoy it too.
That's awesome to hear, Mike, because I've not heard a good thing about that movie
Oh, no, it's really good.
Nick liked it too, yeah.
before, but I was excited when I heard it was coming out because I am a big Saturday Night Live fan and have always been. So I was excited, and I've never heard a good review. So thank you, and I will watch it now. But sorry, Woody, what were you saying?
Nick, I thought you and I talked about this on a previous episode.
Mm-hmm.
We did.
Right.
That I didn't listen to it.
Now, Mike, really quick, before we move on really quick, did you like that it was framed almost like a thriller, or like it was very frantic? Like, because that's sort of what I think a lot of people weren't expecting with Saturday Night. So were you okay with that, I guess?
It moves quick, right? I didn't mind it. I thought like the whole pressure of this, is this going to go to air? Is it not? No, I liked it. I don't mind that.
And I liked it too, because even though it's fake pressure, because we all know it happened.
Yeah, of course.
Right. That's the part I don't like about it, is it's fake pressure.
One of the main elements of a narrative is the problem and the solution, right? So you have to have the problem, because I don't think just without that, those kind of shortcuts and the constant, Lorne Michaels kind of making sure everything's okay, it might not push the narrative along as quickly as it kind of does. But no, I really liked it.
I've always called Hector and Kyle the problem and the solution. So we're good.
They're like the Statler and Waldorf.
Hey, Mutt,
Yes.
where did you hear these bad reviews from? Because I've heard pretty much all good stuff.
Oh, just online and
Okay.
threads and social media mostly. But yeah, I've not heard a good thing. But that's really good to hear.
Yeah, they had Reitman on another podcast talking about making it. It was really interesting.
So thank you, Mike. We are now at number 3. Hector, what do you have for us at number 3?
Well, I want to first apologize to Nick because I was laughing while he was doing his number 4, and that was because of the Mutt almost burnt his house down with the pound of smoke that came out of his mouth. He was hotboxing himself.
Can you do that on Zoom?
Good Lord. That's perfect. So my number 3, actually this we'll go into, oh God, I kind of flip-flop on this one. So I'll say Dune 2 or Part 2. I'll put it in this one because I think it's visually amazing. I think of the story, but because it's already done screenplay, I've already seen Dune, I've already read Dune. It doesn't quite hit where my 2 and 1 do. But I thought it was for me personally stronger than the first one, which a lot of people will disagree with. But I thought that they did some changes from the book that worked, and there were a few that didn't. But overall, I thought it was great for and keeping within its running time and pacing and all that. I thought it did a well job of adapting the source material.
All right.
Yes.
I was literally putting it myself the entire time. My number 1 movie of the year.
Oh,
Dune 2?
It was
Dune 2.
Dune 2. It
number 1.
was so visually, it was so good. And I don't read. You guys know this.
Yeah.
That's my number 1 too.
Right.
Actually.
Wow.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you,
there you go.
Patrick.
Popular.
God,
There you
why
go.
were you hanging me out here to dry? Dude.
Sorry.
But Dune 2 is so good. And if Chalamet gets a nomination for this or the Bob Dylan one, give him one. He's a kid who can act that well. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
I agree completely.
This is better than Dune 1?
But don't put him in SNL. That's all.
Is it better than Dune 1? Dune, the first part had to set things up.
Yeah.
So I couldn't tell you. I liked both equally.
Different. Gotcha.
I loved both.
Hold on,
But
Nick.
hold on. I'm going to make none of you can see this. I'm making a sweeping motion across. You all don't know the 1980s Dune, do you?
Yeah.
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 Sha?
Oh, yeah. We had Sha.
Sha?
Sha.
Sha?
Sha.
Do you?
A monkey's fly out of my butt. That was where that Sha came from.
Ah.
Yeah. No.
All right.
There's nothing I've liked about anything Dune related. I've tried the book, I've tried the comics, I've tried the first movie. But I'm going to have to watch Dune 2. I know it because everyone keeps talking about it, and I don't want to be the guy that hasn't seen it, you know?
I think it's actually way better than the first one.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. But you have to watch the first one.
Yeah, but if it's
Because
better,
Ghostbusters 2,
there's tons better than the
What
first
about-
one. Yeah.
What about the TV, the Sci-Fi Channel miniseries?
all right. Sorry. Moving on.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Please. Okay. So Kyle, number 3,
Mine? Okay.
I think.
Sure. My third one was Snack Shack. I found it on Prime, I think.
Oh, yeah.
It's a coming of age movie based in the early 90s, I think. I don't know a lot. I saw it once. But it was okay. Again, another
Were we
ringing
required to
endorsement.
see it more than one?
I don't know if it was okay, but it was my 3rd best movie of the year.
When you only see 6.
Never seen someone call it in.
Yeah.
Right.
Shack.
It was fine.
I saw the trailer for it because I was looking up comedies.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I had to see
That's-
the poster. I do
Yeah, I
remember.
I think the
seeing
same thing. I think I saw it and I was like, oh, this is like Everybody Wants Some or Meatballs, kind of.
Right. Everybody wants some. It's what I thought it was.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
Oh,
It was, but parts are good and parts are, touching and parts are eh. So enjoy that.
stop
All right.
describing my love life.
This was such a nuanced movie. The lighting alone spoke to me as I watched. I think it was an hour and 17 minutes. It was beautiful. But the acting, a little bit. No, it was fine. It was it was okay. Again, another throwback movie, like Everybody Wants Some or Meatballs. It had that kind of feel, made you feel something here, but a lot of nostalgia. And it was okay. The end.
Is it in the Caddyshack cinematic universe?
Since you said it to me,
No.
it's in my queue. I haven't watched it yet,
But it is kind of, Shack-wise, yes.
Caddyshack's good company.
Yeah, but this is not anywhere close to that Caddyshack.
Okay.
It has the word shack in it, so that's something.
No underground animals popping out? No.
All right.
all right, everyone, watch that movie, like and subscribe.
Smash that subscribe button.
Yes.
Throw in the comments.
But,
let us know what you feel about it. Snack Shack.
Okay. So that's number 3 for you, Kyle. John, what do you have for number 3?
Well, I'll go with the substance as well. And I the episode where you talked about the substance before. The only additional thing I would say,
Mhm.
I just wanted you guys to talk about it because I thought it was so weird. The aesthetics of the movie, where it seemed to be set in the 80s with the technology of like today. And I thought that was just so weird. And
Because you weren't born in the 80s?
no, but I know it looked like the 80s, but they had the like freaking jump drives and stuff, right? So
Yeah, there is this weird timeless aspect to it. That's true.
yeah, and it was a bizarre and one of many bizarre choices in that movie, which is why the movie is so freaking entertaining, right? But
Yes, it's a unique piece of art.
But the lack of Social Security didn't bother you at all?
yeah, but
The
but
STIN
again,
number?
that was
No STIN
one of
number.
like a gazillion things that you could poke holes in the movie with, but like you knew they had to have known all the holes, and they just said, "I don't give a fuck. We're doing
Yeah,
this."
fuck it. Let's
No,
go with
but
it.
somebody called me out on that. So well, yeah, Superman, that's not bullshit at all. Like, yeah, okay, you're right. but that's historical bullshit as opposed to this newfound bullshit.
I think to answer your question, John, is that I think it's a fantasy film, right? Like it's not going
Yeah.
for realism, like it's the opposite. So it's kind of going for a lot of these like absurd aesthetic and narrative choices that if you think about too much, it probably doesn't make sense. But the fact that they go there and then it turns into like a body horror film, I think it's actually quite incredible. And it's so original and so hypnotic. Like you're just like, you don't know what to expect next. And the performances are
Yeah.
incredible.
It just goes in weird directions that you're like, okay, they're doing that now.
Yes, absolutely.
Definitely best makeup of the year.
So, okay, so that's your number 3, John. Substance was my number 4. Okay, Nick, your number 3.
Yeah, so my number 3 is actually probably maybe a controversial one. I mean, I don't know, given everything that's going on in the world now, but I really like The Apprentice, the movie about Donald Trump that starred Sebastian Stan and Jeremy Strong. And there's been a correlation between the last 3 movies. They've all were leads on the show Succession, and they all made really good movies this year. I thought it was actually incredible. If you look at it, the director's filmography, he did Holy Spider, and Border, and he's a really great filmmaker, and he kind of goes across all genres. And this one's sort of like this biographical film about Donald Trump's rise as a real estate agent or mogul in the 70s and 80s, and the way that he has this relationship with his lawyer, Roy Cohn. And the performances are incredible with Jeremy Strong and Sebastian Stan, who, they're both great actors. And I think that it's not an easy film to watch with a lot of the content that's produced, but I think it's a essential film. And I actually think, John, if you watched it too, it's like more, I think, of a horror film than anything else. But it's really fantastic critique of, the persons and the environment and all that stuff. So I thought it was really well made.
I love that you picked this because I've been fretting to watch it. Because literally half the guys on this panel are Canadian, but I've known Donald Trump.
Oh, that's your problem with the movie?
Yeah. No, I've known, finger quotes, Donald Trump since the early 80s. It's horrific.
Oh, it's brutal if you watch it. Like,
my God, it's horrific.
I don't know him. I don't know him very much. Is he okay? Is he okay?
Yeah.
Good dude?
I heard. Sorry. Yeah,
As a Canadian, the quicker we move on, the better.
Thank you.
Yeah, roger that.
But politics aside, it is a good film, and it's very critical of him. So if you kind of go with that stance, it's a great film. So
all right. Okay, thank you, Nick. So, Woody, for your number 3, what do you have?
My number 3 is Will and Harper.
Okay.
Oh, this is why I see this to see how everyone else reacts. So it's Will Ferrell and and ahead of my screen here.
Harper Steele,
thank you. And she was a writer on Saturday Night Live back in the day. And she decided to transition to being female. And it's a lovely documentary about understanding what trans people are dealing with.
Mm-hmm. I did see that, and it's beautiful. Yeah.
It is. I swear to God, every politician in America or Canada should have to watch this film, because I didn't realize I have several people I know or work for me or whatever that have trans kids. I didn't realize the mental part of this. And even going back to, if you listen to Native Americans had trans people in their lives. And this documentary is so good. If it doesn't win, I'm writing on the podcast.
Mm-hmm. All right.
All right.
Yeah. I will agree with Woody on that one. That's I'm sad that I forgot that on my list, but that's a good one.
Nice. Thank you, Woody. My number 3 was Furiosa. It's been mentioned already. So we can move on to number 2.
Sorry. What did you say it was?
Furiosa.
I missed.
Sorry, there is nothing to repeat.
So apparently the way I say sorry sounds like fury.
Right. Sorry. Right.
Yeah. That's the whole Canadian accent, I think.
That's the best thing that's ever happened on this podcast.
Do not edit that out.
No, I won't.
It was Furiosa. I keep wanting to see that, and I haven't. But
yeah, it's you guys talked about it already. It's some weird choices, like doing a speed run of Fury Road during the end credits. That was odd, but yes.
Why does every car catch up to every other car?
Well,
right. No matter how far you go, someone else can catch up with you. Sorry.
It's like the serial killer, like Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees. They all eventually catch up to you.
And do they have social security numbers?
So let's move on to number 2. Mike, what do you have for number 2?
Number 2, I have Orion and the Dark. It was a Netflix animated movie that came out in February. I talked about it on a previous episode. It's just about a boy who's scared of the dark, and the dark comes to take him on a trip during the night, so he realizes what it actually means. And it's quite beautiful, and I liked it a lot.
All right. Hector, what about your number 2?
All right. It's kind of funny because I think Oscar-wise and better movie, Dune Part 2, but just in terms of going to the movies and just having fun and having a bucket of popcorn, I am going with Deadpool and Wolverine.
Okay.
That's my number 1.
Me too.
Just fun, man. Like, that's what I go to the movies for. I want to sit back, laugh my ass off, and just enjoy a movie just to get away from shit and just have fun.
What's better than that?
Kyle hated the fan service.
Yeah.
We are fans.
Kyle loved it.
Service me. Service me.
Okay.
Which is what I say every night I go to bed. Service me.
I was just going to add a disclaimer to yes, it was a very fine movie, but the story, come on, there was no story whatsoever.
Oh my God. None of us see Hector putting on a Deadpool mask right now. But yes, who gives a shit about the story?
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed the movie. I would give it 2 thumbs up, but I wanted more of a story.
Yeah, I will with you. It doesn't break any new ground. It's just escapism. It's just pure fucking escapism.
Right, I'm gonna go to the TV. Did you watch What If?
I don't really like
What If. 2 episodes of What If, and I was like, I got it.
Nerds.
Yeah.
Not nerds. Whatever.
Not nerds.
You're the one watching What If, and
I am the watching the watcher who's watching the watcher.
All right, Nick, go ahead, please.
I was just going to say, when Woody said "service me," that's easily your soundbite for this episode.
Yeah, I know. And also my ringtone.
I liked it. It's a fun. I mean, it's a popcorn movie, right? Like, it's not like one you think about. But I think that it's, it does what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
So I liked it.
Yeah. And the reason I liked it, I put it so high, is obviously it's just, I needed this, for this year especially, I needed certain times to just get out of my head. I just needed to just enjoy something for once. I didn't need to take things too seriously. And that was...
I agree. And that's why I liked it so much, is Kyle, like, Everyone, go 17 episodes before. Trying to hashtag is why it's just I wanted something I didn't have to fucking care about.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
That's fair. That's fair.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. Thank you, Hector. Kyle, what is your number 2?
First of all, what's better than Wolverine, Hector? Oh my God, I can't wait. My number 2, we come to the good part of my list. Despicable Me 4. It was good. Wasn't as good as the last one. Probably wasn't as good as the first and second one, but it's good. Second best movie I saw all year.
Kyle. Kyle's
trajectory here is slowly going up. It's like a 4-degree angle, but it's getting there.
We hit a big steep jump.
A whole
right there.
bunch of mediocrity from Kyle.
I love you, Kyle, for that.
I want Kyle to review Romanian movies now.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Kyle. John, what is your number 2?
I'm gonna go with Heretic.
Okay.
Oh,
Ooh.
Yeah, we had talked about it a little bit in our group chats that we have on the side, but just very interesting concept and super well delivered by none other than Hugh Grant, who I normally can't stand. So for me to love this movie, he did what needed to be done. It was such a good movie. It's just his performance is over the top, and you don't expect Hugh Grant to give an over the top performance. Yeah.
Have you seen Unfrosted?
Paddington.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Saw Hot and Frosty, though.
Shooting holes through your theory.
I'm just saying.
Like in
It's okay.
0.01 second.
Yeah, well, I didn't. Well, we also had the conversation about me not having seen Paddington. So this is why this performance blew me away, because I didn't see Paddington.
Okay.
Dude.
That's all right. No problem. All right. So thank you, John. Nick, what is your number 2?
My number 2 is Conclave, which was a really good thriller or mystery thriller. And Edward Berger directed. He did All Quiet on the Western Front a few years ago. Really great performances by Ray Fiennes, Sally Tucci, John Lithgow, among others. And I love how the first 3 movies I picked were all Succession actors. And then this is probably the one that is sort of like Succession, but I'm trying to find Next Pope. It's on Peacock. I say go in blind and you'll be hooked, and you will probably not suspect how it ends. And it's just a really good film. It's going to be a big awards contender for sure. But I really liked it. I don't know if others have seen it, but it's really good.
This wasn't made by Peacock, right? It was just on Peacock eventually.
Right.
It was from Focus Features,
Okay.
and it was in theaters.
So
and
it's a
then
real movie.
It was.
Yeah.
And then it debuted like a week or two ago on Peacock.
Gotcha.
Nick, I know you're saying to go into it blindly. I've been hesitant to see it despite all the good reviews because I don't have a good taste for, I'll say, the Catholic Church.
You don't have to. They're
Okay.
terrible people, and it will make you,
Okay.
if you do not follow religion or you're critical of religion, it's gonna be up your alley because they do terrible things.
Awesome. Okay, good. All I need to hear.
There's so many euphemisms.
I was thinking the same thing.
Bless you, my father, Patrick. Don't get it.
Actually, yeah, I had it spoiled.
The Pope wins. Gotcha.
Everybody loses.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, so that was Nick number 2. Okay, thank you, Woody. What is your number 2?
Oh, shit. Movie?
Yes, please.
I dozed off.
Okay.
Here's Catholic.
Dune
He's like,
2.
it's Catholic Church. He immediately falls
Sorry.
asleep. It's like,
It was Dune 2.
Okay.
Dune
All right.
2.
doo-doo.
It's the most fantastic thing I've seen filmed this year. The bloops of the...
Oh, yeah.
Are you Donald Trump? What's happening right
Yes, sorry. But the bloops of the... It's the...
The fireworks on
Yes,
the
thank you.
Harkonnen planet.
Right.
Looked amazing.
Right. But that... I didn't like the first one, but the second one is fantastic. Anyway, right. Moving on.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, so my number 2 was Love Lies Bleeding. This was a very
really?
yep.
Wow.
That was a very pleasant surprise. I didn't have any expectations from that movie, but I absolutely loved it. And
Wow.
how can I mean, we've talked about that movie before, but
Did we?
yes, I think so.
Yeah, I bet you did. I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that reminded me of another movie from like maybe, I don't know, 15 years ago, maybe more. Bound.
Bound, yeah.
Oh,
From
yeah,
the-
it's definitely Bound
Oh,
by the
shit.
Wachowskis.
Gina Gershon?
Yes.
Yeah, and Jen
Oh,
Gina
yeah.
Gershon.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Wait, is that one?
Yes.
It made, sorry, this is going to be on the internet. Shit.
How do you fuck that up?
I know. All these guys, they literally just put their hands to their face of like, wow, Gina Gershon. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Hello. Sorry. And now they're crying more than I've actually called them out. I'm like, sorry.
So Love Lies Bleeding, right?
Love Lies
Yes.
Bleeding. Right.
Yes.
Yep.
Love Lies Bleeding. But honestly, I mean, I still think about it. Such a pleasant surprise, and
That's what she said.
it's fantastic.
What's
I would
going
never
on?
guess you would like.
Oh my
I'm
god,
so sorry. I'm
No, it's
so
okay.
sorry.
that's okay.
What's going on?
Nick, you were gonna say I.
Oh, I was just gonna say it's a pleasant surprise because I did not think that was up your alley or your
Oh,
taste. So
right.
that's a really
Yep.
that's a good surprise.
Well,
Maria said.
actually, numbers 2, 3, 4. It could have been switched around. Love Lies Bleeding, Furiosa, and The Substance. They could have gone either way, each of them. Okay, so yeah, this
part of a
is
cinematic universe.
yes,
Are we still recording this?
we are.
All right. How did Mutt blow smoke and Woody got the high? I don't.
Hey, thank you. Because I'm like, what? I needed you to confirm that was happening. Hector.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Oh God.
Love it.
Oh God.
From this point forward, the only talking I will do will be sound bites.
Perfect.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
I think that's my favorite.
There you go. Okay, so let's try and keep that on track. Okay, number one. So, Drew, what is your number one?
Inside Out 2.
Okay.
Just like the first one is brilliant. This one is equally, if not more so. And it could just be kind of the timing of it because my son is around the same age as the main character. And it's all about, hitting puberty and all the different emotions and things that are, going to increase. And it's just brilliant. And anybody who has kids or has had kids or is going to have kids, it's worth seeing because it's so beautifully done. And I loved it.
I will agree with that. Especially, I just watched it a week and a half ago, and boy,
Me too. I only watched it about a week or so ago, but I thought it was like last year. I didn't even realize it was this year. But
I think it's earlier this year. Like
yeah.
Yeah, it was
it was
May.
spring. Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, it was great. Yeah.
All right, so thank you, Mike. Hector, what about you? What is your number one?
it's wicked, guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
me
shit.
too.
Oh,
Me
yeah, it's
too.
wicked.
My son agrees with you.
Look, I'm like Patrick. Musicals not my forte, but this
Wow.
this freaking blew me away, and I did not see anything. Yeah, I didn't see the musical. I don't typically go and watch a lot of musicals. Not a Broadway guy.
Do you like The Wizard of Oz? Like, is that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did see it on Broadway, and I liked the movie as much as seeing it on Broadway.
Okay. It's
It was-
yeah. I just thought whatever they did in the musical,
Yeah.
I think works really good because they add. It's more 3D. You have context. You see like the visuals alone.
It's funny you say that, Hector, because I made the mistake of seeing it in 3D. It was just like went in to see Wicked, saw the next showing, bought the tickets, but went to go in and they were handing out 3D glasses. And I was like, oh, fuck, I didn't pay attention.
That's fun.
I didn't want to see it in 3D, right?
Yeah.
And 3D added nothing to the experience.
Nothing at all, no.
Yeah.
No.
Does it ever really?
Right?
Unless it's in
Yes,
the 80s?
Avatar is one of the best examples, I think, of that.
Okay.
Fair point. And it's why 3D caught on, but nobody else ever did anything good with it.
Sorry, I want another episode with just me and Mike talking about music.
Okay.
I have so much music for Mike Drew.
One of my songs is a recommendation you gave me a long
I know.
time ago, Woody.
I know.
Did you actually use the bathroom, Woody, or would you just go and...
Nope. Nope. I'm
Okay.
drunk as fuck, Hector.
There we go.
But I just want,
We know it.
because a year ago, 2 days ago, I just want
You've
to
been that drunk?
sing.
For 2
Yes,
days?
yes.
It's a bender.
I love you and hate you guys.
Woody, is there
I'm not-
another? Do you have a doppelganger
Sound like
with the
Angela.
same name in Chicago?
Say again?
Do you have a doppelganger in Chicago with the same name?
No.
That would come in handy right now, maybe.
I
Like with Patrick.
Nope.
Okay. Thank
I
you,
know,
Hector.
Patrick.
Yep.
Stop recording.
No,
Stop recording. Dude.
can't do that. Sorry.
Dude.
I cannot do that. Okay, so thank you, Hector. That was your number one. Kyle, what is your number one?
Wolverine, Deadpool. I've said too much about it this year already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
perfect.
really the one good movie I really liked this year. The end. Kyle.
In a sea of mediocrity.
Yes, exactly. When you only see
Okay.
6 movies, one kind of takes all the good stuff out of it. So, yeah.
Fair point. All right, John, what is your number one?
Hector already said Wicked, and that's mine. Not a lot of additional comments, except for similar to how Hugh Grant won me over. I wasn't too excited that Ariana Grande was going to be in this because I'm not a big fan of hers. First, I'll say 10 minutes into the movie, I was convinced I was right. She was going to ruin the movie, and then the movie won me over. It's
Wow.
amazing. So it's my number one.
Nice.
Do they leave it open for a sequel?
Oh, it's not even
Well, no, it's
open.
not a part two.
Do they
Yeah.
leave it open for a
Got a
prequel?
part two.
It says part one on it. So
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Oh, I
actually
didn't
the
see
Dune
that.
universe.
Oh, okay.
Dune Universe.
Duneverse.
The Duneverse.
Okay, so thank you, John. Nick, what is your number one?
My number one is Honora. That's Sean Baker's movie. And it's a comedy romance movie. I really loved it because this is why I go to the movies. I want to be entertained. I want to laugh. And it's a really great film. It won Palme d'Or Cannes. It's going to get a lot of awards buzz. And Mikey Madison is incredible as the title character. I love how you don't, like, I feel like a lot of the movies I like this year, you just don't really know where the stories are going. And I love that unpredictability with it. And I think this confirms that Sean Baker's just one of the great directors. He did like the Florida Project, Tangerine, and Red
I
Rocket,
love
among
that.
others.
Okay.
And he's really good at focusing on a specific marginalized group, in this case, sex workers. And just, it's a great film. I also loved Wicked too. That was almost in my top 5.
I saw Honora a few days ago. Maybe I need to give it another shot, but I mean, I saw the quality, but I did not enjoy it because the girl, Honora, is to me so unlikable that I didn't care what happened to her. And when you're a Russian gangster with your own Wikipedia page, how do you get henchmen so clueless and fucking useless like these, you know?
I think that's kind of the point to me, but I really think the best performance is the guy who plays Igor, the guy
Yes.
that's like the bodyguard, because he's really, I think, the heart of the movie.
Yeah.
Besides her, and I mean, like, I think that part of what makes it work so well for me is that, like, it feels very realistic. A lot of things, like, doesn't really like go for like these cliches. It's sort of like, this is how life happens sometimes. Like, you have sex with the billionaire's son, and then, you know, you get tied up in like
As you do.
gangsters. Well, you
Thank
know,
you, Thor.
Patrick, you know, international espionage happens. But no, it's just, I liked it because, let me ask you a question, actually. Did you see it with the full like house, or did you see it by yourself? Or
By myself.
see, I think this is one that it was enhanced with the theater because I saw it with a sold out audience and everyone laughed really hard at like moments that I think if it was by myself, I probably wouldn't laugh as hard at. But I think
Yeah,
that's sort of like even Deadpool and Wolverine, where you have to see it with a full house or crowd. So
I can see that. Yes, that makes sense.
What about in 3D?
well, you get to see all the things in it.
Yeah.
Oh, Igor.
So
Gotcha.
Maybe I just don't like that actress. I don't know. She's got a weird face.
That's all it takes.
She looks like she's having a allergic reaction to something. A kind of puffy face.
Good acting.
That's why my mother
Method acting.
My mother hated Shawshank Redemption because she thought Tim Robbins has a weird face.
I think that happens a lot.
But
That's funny. Yeah.
no,
puffy
yeah,
face.
I don't know. Like, I guess I'm not the target audience, or I wasn't in the right mood for it. I don't know.
I would give it another shot. I can't wait because I'm a voter for one of the things. I'm going to rewatch it. I'm just curious how it holds up, but by myself, not in a theater, because I think that enhances a lot of our experiences if we see them like Wicked or Furiosa or Deadpool Wolverine. I think that helps definitely change our perspectives of it, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
To Patrick's point, I hated Drive Away Dolls because I could not stand the leads in that movie.
I hated that movie. Oh my God. Don't get me started.
That was just a 0 for me. And I love the Coens, and Coen or single or multiple Coens. It doesn't matter. I just fucking could not get over the leads, just driving me bananas the whole movie.
Ethan is not the good Coen brother,
we know
obviously.
who the real talent is.
Absolutely.
An
Jim
Oasis
Cohen.
situation.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So thank you, Nick. Woody is AFK. He's going to be back in a few minutes, hopefully. Woody After Dark, indeed. And my number 1 was Dune Part 2.
Yeah.
So we can move on to TV.
Sure.
All right. Oh, yeah. No, just before that, let's do a really quick recap of your top 5, gentlemen.
Sure.
My number 5 was Do Not Expect Too Much from the End of the World. Number 4 was The Substance. Number 3 was Furiosa. One day I will pronounce it properly. Furiosa. Number 2, Love Lies Bleeding. And number 1, Dune Part 2. Okay, so Kyle, your top 5?
Top 5, Harold and the Purple Crayon, number 5. Number 4, Unfrosted. Number 3, Snack Shack. Number 2, Despicable Me 4. And number 1, Deadpool and Wolverine.
All right, thank you. Mike, your top 5.
5 was Red One, 4 was Bank of Dave, 3 was Saturday Night, 2 was Orion in the Dark, and number 1 was Inside Out 2.
All right. John, what about you? What is your top 5?
5, Amelia Perez. 4, Late Night with the Devil. 3, The Substance. 2, Heretic. And 1, Wicked.
All right, thank you. Nick, your top 5.
5 was Memoir of a Snail. 4, A Real Pain. 3, The Apprentice. 2, Conclave. And 1, Honora.
All right, thank you. Hector, your top 5, please.
Mr. Crockett, number 5. Number 4, Late Night with the Devil. Number 3, Dune 2. Number 2, Deadpool and Wolverine. And 1, Wicked.
All right. Okay, so let's move on to TV, and if Woody can come back, he will. All right, so the order, I'm going to keep the same, if that's okay.
Do what you gotta do.
So, TV. Mike.
Oh, come on.
Your number 5.
All right.
Your number 5 for TV, please.
Okay, I have a tie for number 5, and there's a reason, because there's a connection to the two of them. The tie is between the Australian sitcom Austin and the British sitcom Dinosaur. They're both comedies, but they're based in autism, because both the main characters have autism. And although they're comedies, they do it with kindness and encouragement, and they're both as beautiful as they are funny. And if you're in Canada, you can watch both on CBC Gem, and they are worth your time because they are just lovely.
All right. Thank you. Hector, what about your number 5?
So I have 2 shows.
Peter.
Spread 'em out.
Wow.
Yeah, I fucked up. So
Oh, you have
It
two
takes a
shows
lot
in
in this
total.
episode.
I thought you were saying like me, like
no,
tied.
2 shows total. I got 2 shows total.
Oh, I thought I took it that way too, Mike.
No. I have 2 shows total, so I'll give you my number 2. Or do you want to wait until you go around?
No, but do you have any honorable mentions?
I'm trying to think because
Or crap you've
no,
seen
because
this year?
because they were
Yeah.
real bad ones. The ones I saw are terrible.
Well, fuck it. You
Tell
know,
us
that's
3 of
Can we,
those.
can we do
Yeah,
6? That's yeah. All right.
to avoid.
God. Hold on.
Did you watch
mean,
MASH?
This is chaos night, so might as well
No shit,
go
right. Hold on.
balls out.
Yeah, right.
So I can add in my favorite Pornhub
Yeah, 'cause
videos.
I cannot recommend the
mine.
Jackal. I just parts of it. It's pretty looking, but
Mm,
some of the sniper stuff, but not really. I cannot recommend it.
Oh, this is my kind of review. I like this.
Disclaimer to a point, because there's definitely an interesting message in it, but it's not. If you think too hard of it, it doesn't really make sense.
Falls apart.
It falls apart. But Alfonso Cuarón makes these beautiful productions. Just, I don't know. It's hard to fault it, but at the same time, it didn't really work for me.
okay, thank you. Sorry, John, you were gonna say?
I forget.
Okay, that's okay.
Hold on, he's got
all
3.
right. Yeah, that's all right. Okay, so thank you, Hector. Kyle, what is your number 5?
All right. For this, I went a little different. I did all stand-up specials for my top 5.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Whatever Kyle says.
With a bunch of crap in here, too, so enjoy that. My number 5, and this is a weird one because it's not really a special. It's the Kill Tony show. I don't think a lot of people have seen this before or even heard of it. It was Kill Tony episode number 672. This is a controversial one, too. They had Shane Gillis and Adam Ray on the show. It was a panel where they have 2 comedians come on and then some other people come up and tell jokes. It's not great, but Shane Gillis did the Donald Trump impression. Adam Ray did the Joe Biden impression, and it was great. It was hilarious. It was 2 hours of just like this, going riffing. And their impressions were hilarious. They weren't spot on, but they're funny enough. And it was just a good watch. So that was another fun.
Where can we find it?
YouTube, I'm pretty sure. And it's not for everybody. I mean, the whole thing is really kind of weird at points, but just for the impressions alone and the little side jokes and Adam Ray taking his glasses off and crossing his eyes while he's Joe Biden is pretty funny. And Shane Gillis does some good jokes as Trump too. So it's a weird setup and a weird kind of delivery, but it's good. It's funny.
All right. Thank you. John, what about you?
I didn't watch a lot of TV either, so my 5th is the one I was meh about. Agatha All Along, the Disney one. I liked the over-the-top campiness of it. I thought Catherine Hahn, is that her name?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought her story sort of got hijacked by the kid, and no one seemed to give a rat's ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like that people got into the campiness of the witchy stuff, and so it seems like a show that I should have liked. I should have been their target audience, and I wish it was good. As
these
their target audience, it was a 5 out of a list of 5 shows that I watched this year.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. It fit right in.
All those Marvel shows, they gotta try to make them now fit into what they're eventually going to be doing. So it's almost like they take a good story or a story and have to fit into that framework of making it fit into the next stuff down the road.
Yeah. Which is why he took off as their...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then your story suffers, so...
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, John. Nick, what is your number 5?
Admittedly, I'm not as much of a TV person, so I struggled to get to 5, but I think I got 5. My number 5 is The Bear season 3. You guys know how I feel about that season. It has its moments, but I don't like it nearly as much as the first 2. But I still will watch this show because I like the characters. But It is not a comedy. I don't care what these Emmys, Golden Globes say.
Oh yeah, no.
It makes
Yeah.
it stresses me the hell out. So yeah.
So the very first episode, I know I'm not alone in saying first of all, go back to The Walking Dead. They lost me when they killed off Glenn,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, they lost a lot of people then.
I was done with the show, never watched again. I've never watched The Bear after the first episode of season 3. Loved the first 2 seasons. The first one I found so fucking intolerably boring that I could not continue with it. And I haven't. And I don't miss it now. I'm like, that episode ruined everything for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never loathed the single episode as much.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did they kill Glenn again?
I remember watching it and I was like, what am I like? What?
It was, yeah.
I had that same reaction.
It was the most pretentious food boringness.
Yeah.
I think I binged a few episodes at a time, and that might have been what made that first episode more tolerable for me. But I've heard and read quite a bit of hate for that episode as well. So
yeah, it to me it was almost the antithesis of what The Bear is even supposed to be.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, good way of putting it. Yes. All right. So Woody will come back when he's
When he's ready.
when he's ready. Yes. So-
But he's on the 7th step.
Is that when you go get drunk again and then come back?
Hopefully he doesn't miss that 8th one. We don't need to slip a trip in December.
yeah. Okay. This is chaos night, huh?
Turn in your chip.
Yes. Okay, oh my God.
I'm not one to talk. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be the friend that's sitting with him in the jail cell. Like, that was fun.
I smell a buddy comedy.
He reminded me of the old guy in Elf. I'm 26.
In the mailroom, yes. I gotta get out of the stream.
I'm just gonna walk away and let you guys riff for another 20 minutes. All right. Okay, so my number 5 would be The Franchise. Comedy on Max. I talked about it maybe on the last TV episode or the one before that, from Armando Iannucci. Not as funny as Veep or The Death of Stalin, but still some very funny parts. The actors are great in it. Daniel Brühl is those who've seen Inglourious Basterds, he was the German soldier who stars in the German war movie. He plays a film director in it, and he is fantastic. So many very funny parts in it. So that's my number 5. Okay, so number 4, we keep going with Drew. Your number 4, please.
The newest season of Slow Horses. I won't say too much because we talk about it a lot, but I thought it was a return to form after the 3rd season because I didn't care for that one as much.
Okay. And I forgot to mention my list. I wanted to focus on either limited series or seasons 1 of new shows. And The Bear, Slow Horses, Blue Lights normally would have been on my list, but since I focused on new series or limited series, they are not.
Yeah, this is the only show that I have that's a return series.
Okay, thank you. So, Hector, what about you? Number 4, please.
You know what? Thanks, Kyle, for bringing up the comedy specials. Taylor Tomlinson, she had an amazing past couple years, and she has a new one this year called Have It All on Netflix. Highly recommend. She's just one of the best working comics for me right now, and she's just killing it. And even if you're not a fan of the After Midnight, she's just a terrific
She's
comedy.
amazing on that.
Yeah. So highly recommend. I think she's even better as a stand-up than just doing the scripted material. She's got great storytelling. And yeah, recommend that one.
All right. Thank you. Kyle, what about you?
I'll backpack off of that one because I got a whole section of yes, Taylor is amazing. She is great, but I put her special this year in my section of I wish it was better, or maybe just not as good as the last one they did. So I have Taylor Tomlinson, Tom Papa, Dimitri Martin. All three of them had great specials before, and they're great comics. And even these ones aren't bad. They're just I didn't like them as much as last time. And especially Rachel Feinstein. She has a great special out called Big Guy, and it's a great joke, but she's done it better in other stand-ups that I've seen of hers. That was the same set almost. So for my number 4, that was could have been a better section, but my number 4 is Phil Wang. He's a Chinese British guy, and his special was Wang in There, Baby. And he's just great. His last one was great. This one was great. Same level. Just a funny comedian. Very specific, I guess you could say. But he's
often on British quiz and news topic panel shows.
Yeah.
And he's very funny.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think if what you see there is probably the same stuff as in stand-up. He has a very metered kind of feel to
delivery, for sure.
Thank you. There's the word I'm looking for. So,
nice. Okay, thank you. John, your number 4, please.
This is the Zodiac speaking, a crime docuseries on Netflix. It was an okay documentary that entertained me, but I needed to be entertained. Etc.
It was only a matter of time, wasn't it?
All right. Okay, thank you. I don't even know why I'm laughing, but okay. Okay. Nick, what about you? Number 4, please.
I think you got secondhand from John's screen.
Probably.
But
I think John got secondhand from John's screen.
Yes. We love you, John. Number 4 for me, I guess, is The Sympathizer that was on Max for HBO.
That with Denzel?
That was with Robert. That's with Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Oh,
yes.
And that's the one where it's like the Vietnamese American sort of miniseries, and it's sort of set against the Vietnam War, and A24 produced it. It was based on a Pulitzer Prize winning book. And I mean, for me, I didn't love it, but it was fine. But it's really fun to see Robert Downey Jr. sort of have fun in these roles. And I think that's the highlight for me. But it's when you need like a pot of coffee to pay attention to everything that's happening, because it's very like novelistic. I don't know if anyone else has seen it, but
slower horses.
Yeah, it just felt like to me, it's almost like too kinetic in terms of like there's too much going on for me. But I had to really pay attention, and but it was good. I mean, it was fine.
All right. Okay, so my number 4 would be A Gentleman in Moscow with Ewan McGregor on Paramount Plus.
It's on Gem here in Canada.
Yes, I think I saw it there. Okay, so perfect. So no more excuses for Canadians since Gem is free. So get on it.
Is that the Tubi of Canada?
No, it's CBC.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So it's like our national broadcaster.
Tubi is the Tubi of Canada.
Yeah.
Not Mubi.
There you go. Okay, so after recently returning to Russia from Paris, aristocrat Count Alexander Ilyich Rostov spends decades banished to an attic hotel room following the October Revolution after being sentenced to house arrest by a Bolshevik tribunal. Yeah, I loved it. So
wait, this is set back in 1917-ish? Okay.
Yes.
Is it a Tyler Sheridan show?
It's coming. Don't worry.
Coming. Okay.
That would be something. That would be quite something. No, yeah. I wish I had a more structured analysis about it or review of it. But no, it's great.
You liked it. You liked it. That's fine.
McGregor is super likable in it.
He's likable in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Yeah, check that out.
There you go. All right, so that's my number 4. So we move on to number 3. Mike, what do you have?
this is a bit of a coin flip. On the last episode, I talked about the show Unprisoned, where the second season was just show, but I actually just watched 1 and 2 consecutively. Again, very heartwarming, very funny. Probably not a show you're going to want to watch with little kids because there are some adult themes in it, but very, if you know what we've been doing this for a little while, and I think probably our return listeners kind of know where I come from. So, kind of a family dramedy that I really liked. And but it was either that or the Tragically Hip documentary.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I wish I thought of that one.
Just makes great hair. Take it, Mutt, because then you can talk about it.
Yeah, I'm crossing off one as we speak.
There you go.
Wheel of Fortune comes on.
Teamwork.
That's how we roll.
That's teamwork for you.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yes.
And assist. Canadian.
I can be the
hockey.
Adam Oates to your Brett Hall. That's all right.
There you go. Okay, so thank you, Mike. Hector, what about you? Number 3, please.
Number 3, I'm probably sniping this one from Kyle. Your friend Nate Bargatze, the Netflix special. Of the few Netflix comedy specials I saw, this probably the best one of all of them. He's just at a golden era right now. He's just hitting out homers left and right. This past few have just been one after another. Like, I don't know where he's just sitting in a room just writing and writing and writing because he's just killing it right now. And kind of like, I'm not going to say out of nowhere, but at the same time, he's not really a household name yet, but he's definitely going to be soon if he's not already. But yeah, just telling very relatable jokes, not going over the top, just being, a little timid, but also just being down to earth. But yeah, real funny dude. Your friend Nate Bargatze on Netflix.
Awesome. Thank you. Kyle, what about you?
All right, let's see. I will go with, first of all, the best named comedy special this year, and it's not in my top 5, Pete Davidson's Turbo Fonzarelli. The word turbo is great. The word Fonzarelli is great, and you put them together. The special is fine. It was okay, but the title.
Did it jump the shark? Is that what happened?
I think it did, yes.
Okay.
My number 3 was Sam Morrill. He's a comedian from New York. He's a name you probably don't know, but you might have heard him here and there. He had a special out this year called You've Changed. I think it was on Netflix. It was great. Very good. Again, another specific, every comedian has a specific voice, but his comedy is very not, what's the word I'm thinking of? Not very upbeat, but not bad. I mean, it's not like negative all the time or anything like that. It's just his tone is more a little snarky, but still funny. So Sam Morrill, number 3.
All right. Thank you, Kyle. John, what about you?
What number are we on here? Oh, the Tragically Hip documentary, which was always my number 3 all along, and I totally didn't change my mind when Mike refreshed my memory. It was an amazing documentary, and it hit me in the feels as I expected it would.
Tragically.
And that is why I enjoyed said documentary.
The end. John Mutford.
Yes.
This is a book report now.
Sincerely, John Mutford.
His review was fully and completely.
Hey,
I give that a B+.
Plus.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, John. Nick, what is your number 3?
How do I follow that up, honestly? My number 3 is the last season of Curb Your Enthusiasm, season 12. I mean, this is one of my all-time favorite shows. I don't know if anyone else loves that show, but I still rewatch the episodes just because it's just one of the funniest sitcoms and improvisational cringe comedy series ever, and I love Larry David. I mean, it's weird because Curb, after the Seinfeld season that was 15 years ago, it has never been quite as good. There's been many gaps, but I think this one was actually kind of funny, and I think that it's sad to see it go, but also it's been beyond time for it to be over. So, but I liked it as a fan of it for decades. So
You got more than enough out of it.
Yeah.
Oh, they got beyond enough mileage. Like they went Thelma and Louise off the cliff, and they still had more cliffs that they
7
somehow
seasons after.
before crashing into the ditch. So,
All right.
but that Tragically Hip documentary, it's really no, I'm kidding. That's gonna be my number 2 pick, probably. No, I'm kidding.
All right.
It's very popular.
So my number 3 would be, and now that I look at it, it should have been A Gentleman in Moscow. I screwed that up. But at 3, I have Black Doves.
Oh, man, I heard great things.
I haven't.
On Netflix.
It's only 6 episodes, right?
Oh, yeah, we talked about it on the TV episode.
We had about that, yeah.
You said something about like stretching your believability
Truth
back.
Yeah. And that is a very valid point that you brought, Mike. I'm guessing that for North American audiences, they probably didn't make the connection or didn't think of that. But I'm assuming that British audiences would have rolled their eyes big time,
Yeah.
But once you get past that, I mean, Keira Knightley and Ben Whishaw are fantastic, and they elevate the material. Yeah. So number 3, that should have been number 4. Okay, so let's keep going. We are at number 2. Mike, you're up.
Yeah, A Man on the Inside. Talked about it in the last episode. Ted Danson. It's just heartwarming and funny and charming and all these wonderful adjectives to describe it. And yeah, I loved it. And I know Kyle said he liked it, and I can't remember. I think Woody maybe brought it up as well.
Yeah, Woody really liked it.
Yeah, Woody really liked it too. I just, what a great show.
Awesome. Hector, what do you have at number 2?
I am going to go with The Penguin. Yeah, I dug it. I was not expecting it. I thought it was going to be a little hokey, and I was pleasantly surprised. HBO knows how to do gangster shit really well.
That's true.
It's kind of what their benchmark after Sopranos. But so they do well with what they have with original material and not making you feel like you're watching, the DC cinematic universe. It's nothing like that. So it's great for doing its own single storyline thing.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't feel like a superhero related series.
Not at all. Yeah. In fact, they don't even mention Batman at all. And it's just the signal at the very end.
That's true. Okay. So thank you, Hector.
Does that mean they're setting it up for a second season or?
Oh, I think so.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's getting enough praise that
I didn't see it, but yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about it, to be honest, but it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Mm-hmm. Now they got to bring Batman in. If you show that as your last, people are going to want to see it. And then how much do that's going to take over a lot.
That's one trap that hopefully they won't fall into, but that's a good point.
Maybe they can make it work, but that seems like a trap, speaking of.
I heard Colin Farrell wasn't sure about coming back because apparently the makeup process is
brutal.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
he's the whole show, wasn't he? Pretty much.
Yeah. So,
Do you have some other guy come in for his part? That's very odd.
Big shoes to fill. All right. So we have now Kyle, your number 2, please.
Okay. Number 2. First, I'll do the honorable mentions.
Mm-hmm.
These are really good specials. No problem. They just didn't make the top 10 or top 5, excuse me. Fortune Feimster just came out with one a month ago. Great, funny, almost family friendly. I think maybe not, but really funny. Dusty Slay earlier in the year, he came out with his first on Netflix, and that was good. That's the guy who's from the same town that Tony's from, Opelika.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we talked about this last episode, Keith Robinson with Different Strokes, his special about having 2 strokes. And that was just hilarious. But my number 2 pick is Neil Brennan from the Dave Chappelle Show.
Don't do it, John. No jokes, John. I saw your face. Okay, sorry.
Was the left side starting to droop? What did you mean?
You weren't here for this. I'll tell you about it. It's great. Keith Robinson had a stroke, and it wasn't that bad. And then he had a second stroke, and that was bad. And he made a special after that second stroke where he's paralyzed on half his face, and one arm can't move, And he went through the whole special like that, and he talks about it and makes it funny. It's great. And the best part was he named it Different Strokes, his special, which is hilarious. It's so
that's good.
It is. It was really good, but the joke was even better. But Neil Brennan, he came out early this year with Crazy Good, his special, and he's been on Dave. He helped create Dave Chappelle's show, and he's had specials in the past. He's got a podcast, but this one I think he's finally, and he's talked about it too. He kind of hit a different level in his personal life and just being more comfortable and all that, and it shows. This special is a lot more funnier than other ones, and it's funny, but he still goes hard on different topics, and it's great. So yeah, Neil Brennan, Crazy Good.
All right, thank you, John. What is your number 2?
I don't think it's going to be a popular opinion, but I'm going to say the 50th season of Saturday Night Live.
Oh, boo!
Because you know what?
No.
Somebody said earlier about the cast that sells the. I think Patrick, you said like the particular actors elevated the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the writing on this season of Saturday Night Live is exceptional,
No.
with the exception of some. But the new cast, I'm really enamored with. I think there's some really fucking funny people in that new cast, and when they hit their mark, it's when they're doing something so freaking bizarre that you're not even sure you're watching it right now. And they're doing a little bit more of that, and I'm appreciating that. Although the 50th season, some of their cameos are weighing it down because
it's a weird
playing
year.
into, yeah, they're playing into old like fans of these older actors and stuff of when they were funny on Saturday Night Live, and the humor doesn't necessarily translate as well today.
Okay.
So to speak to Mutford's point, I've been watching this past few weeks. I've been showing Sophia Saturday Night Live. She'd never watched an episode.
Oh boy!
But I was picking the Christmas episode of every season.
Oh boy!
So we started.
Oh.
Yeah. So to Mutt's point, yeah, there's problems with the writing on this new season, but there's been problems with every season.
Yeah.
It's not endemic of just the newest seasons. I know that we like to shit on some of these young actors. But holy, like the first season of Joe Piscopo and Charles Rocket, like holy shit, not good.
No, that whole season's not good.
So right? I mean, there's going to be a lot of misses throughout the 50 years of that show, but we still keep watching it because once you get those jewels, it just you keep laughing at it.
And that's half the fun of it, is like hoping you get the gem of a sketch, or the gem of a show, right?
All sketch shows are like that, though.
Especially if you haven't seen it, or haven't seen it in a while. It's a nice surprise to have something good pop up like that.
Yeah.
Hector, have you come to the ones where Che and Jost are hosting?
No, we're in the mid 80s right now.
Okay, good. Those are going to get tricky because witches.
Watching those with a kid, yeah.
They're
amazing. It's getting tricky already. I mean,
sure.
Yeah, there's some dated things. I'll say that.
Was it this season that had the Beavis and Butthead sketch, or was that last season?
That was last season.
Last
That's
season.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah, but every Christmas now, what Jost and Che do is they do a joke swap, and this has been going on for 5-6 years, and it's terrible.
But at least that's on the nose, as opposed to like I said, the Piscopo years where it's very
bad.
Very
yeah.
They're not saying it with irony.
No, there's not much you can do.
Yeah.
All right.
Good call.
So, yes, thank you, John. Nick, what is your number 2?
My number 2 is a show that's actually still ongoing, and I know you're a fan of it, Patrick, is The Agency with Michael Fassbender, Jeffrey Wright, Richard Gere, among others. I like it because, well, first of all, I got to preface, Michael Fassbender is one of my favorite actors. It's him and Tom Hardy, and then everyone else in contemporary film. I will watch anything that man does because he's just one of the best actors. He makes crappy decisions when it comes to movies a lot of the time, but I will endorse that man until the sun goes down. I just love him so much. I really like it because it's a good espionage thriller that takes place in the semi-present. I think it's like 2023, I think.
Yes.
Or 22, give or take. And I just really like it because it has this spy who came in from the cold, paranoid 70s vibe to it that I really like. And I just think that it's topical, it's timely, and I think that it's actually really well written, and the performances are good. And I look forward to every episode. And it's currently on Paramount Plus and Showtime. And I don't know if it's anywhere else in the UK or Europe or Canada, but I really recommend it. It's just a good show to watch.
Yeah. It's not on my list somehow, but it could have been there easily. My number 2 is Say Nothing, the Irish show I mentioned on the previous TV episode. I've been thinking about it still. And what this show does when it comes to how that conflict, the troubles, how it affected entire communities and, families, and at the same time, the relationship between the two sisters, the casting is amazing. Every actor, hits it out of the park. Also, it describes or it shows the toll it takes on everyone. That conflict has been going on for ages. Yeah, I cannot recommend this enough. Say Nothing.
Trailer looks amazing. As soon as you said it last time, I gotta watch it.
So there you go. Unfortunately, I'm not sure which network it is on. I'm sorry.
Ooh,
but
challenge accepted.
RTE.
RTE, yeah. Probably. So Say Nothing. It's a limited series, 9 episodes.
It's on Hulu.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So probably Disney in Canada.
I think so. I think I looked it up.
Guys, Say Nothing.
I'm checking right now.
Giving way too much away.
It is on Disney. Yep.
Okay, so there you go. Watch it. It's fantastic. So number 1, Mike, what do you have?
Mr. Bates versus the Post Office. I talked about it a couple episodes back. It's a drama. It's based on a conflict that's actually still happening in the UK, and it's brilliant. Toby Jones, who's the lead in the show, is phenomenal and should win every Golden Globe and Emmy for it. He won't. He'll probably be nominated for a BAFTA, I'm sure. But it is amazing. And it's our friend Tony Greathouse brought up a great challenge about shows that only lasted one season.
Oh, yeah.
And I think this would be right in there. I came up with a list of 5, and this would be number 2. But yeah, it's brilliant.
Was it only meant to last a season?
I think so.
Okay.
It's, I won't get into the whole premise, but the problems are still happening in the UK. So, whether they revisit it, but I would doubt it.
Okay.
And maybe for legal reasons, they are not allowed to talk about a few things.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll do a Canadian version for season 2?
With the recent strike?
That's what I smell.
You never know. You never know.
Never know. All right. Thank you, Mike. Hector, what is your number 1?
My number 1 is Beachfront Bargain Hunt renovation.
Oh my God, I love it. No. Yes, and there's a new season coming out. Yes.
Sorry, 2023, it doesn't count. Yeah. It's I gotta say, it was the Tragically Hip documentary. Look, like we talked about this on the last episode, I don't have any investment. I did not have any context to the band. They weren't played on any local radio. They weren't shown on any TV channel. So coming at this from a completely unbiased look, it was so cool to see a complete history in a 4-hour documentary. I don't remember the time on, but it just was
probably rather fantastic.
I love how much home pride there is in Kingston. I love the band members, or just like a family. I love how everyone just knew each other and had history with each other. You don't see enough of that. A lot of bands, especially here in the US, it's just like we hit the road on the bus. We're all doing our own thing. One guy's writing, one guy's plucking the guitar, and
resentment creeps in.
Yeah, I don't see enough of that. And it just felt great to see a very happy,
hardworking band.
Let's celebrate each other instead of like, oh, there was shit here and this was bad here. Like, none of that. It just felt like a lot of love, and it was a joy to watch. So that goes down as my number 1.
I don't know. Have you seen the Eagles?
Nothing but love from that Henley fella. That guy.
Yeah. Class act.
Stand-up dude.
All right. Thank you, Hector. Kyle, what is your number 1?
Oh, going back to what Hector said a couple turns ago, Nate Bargatze, your friend.
Yeah.
They just released it this week, past. And it's everything he does is good. I don't know how it works that way. Woody actually said the way he does his comedy makes it feel like something he could do. And he does. He's not very flashy. He's not very demonstrative, but just the stuff he talks about and the way he does it, presents it, it's very everyman kind of comedy. But every special he's had has been great. I will mention two more that I did not see this year. Seth Meyers and Nikki Glaser both have had. Nikki Glaser's a monster. She just, everything she does is crazy good. And Seth Meyers had one special put out a couple years ago, and that was great too. Haven't seen those yet this year, but I'm sure they would have made my top 5 if they did. If I did.
All right. Thank you, Kyle. John, what is your number 1?
First of all, thank you for Hector for describing the Tragically Hip documentary way more eloquently than I had earlier, because yes, and that's what makes it such a beautiful thing. But he said,
Is it ironic that it was an American that took it, that needed to do that?
well, no, because predictably the Canadian was stoned.
Oh, stereotypes.
You're not talking about me, are you? I don't even...
You are weeping, Mutt.
What We Do in the Shadows, the last season.
Oh, man. Only because I didn't see it.
And was it the best season they've ever had? I don't know, but it was just funny the whole way through. It was just them having a good time on their way out. They weren't trying to further any big stories, I guess. And then the season finale was or the series finale, I should say, is one of the best series finales I've seen done.
Awesome.
They
Nice.
knock it out
On my list.
Somebody talked, I think Woody talked about that last week.
Yeah.
That one sounded good.
Remember Woody?
Oh, yeah. From which episode?
Thank you, John. Nick, what is your number 1?
My number 1 is Hacks season 3 on Max.
Huh.
I really like this show, and I love it because Gene Smart is incredible in this role, and I just think that Deborah Vance is one of the best TV characters of the last decade that I've watched, and I was really happy to see that they were going to have a season 3. And I feel like it was, for me, a return to the show, like return to form, so to speak, from season 2, which was good, but I didn't like it as much as season 1. And I thought this one was like really, really good. So I say highly recommend to check it out. I know Mike Drew has seen it.
I haven't seen 3, but I watched 1 and 2, and I really like them. And 3's in my list. Yeah,
I'm going to binge all of them this month.
And also, I have to say, Beachfront Bargain Hunt Renovation season 10 is coming out next week or the first week of January. So you know what I'm going to be watching. Can I give a shout out actually to one honorable mention really quick before we go?
Sure.
I've been catching up. I wrote a paper for a class I was taking on Dark Side of the Ring. I know Mike Drew likes this show a lot. They had season 5, and it's sort of like about the rise and fall of professional wrestlers. And it's on Vice TV and it's on Hulu. And they're really well made, and they're very unique how they tell the stories, like aesthetically, narratively. And this season that they had was really good. So I highly recommend that one as well.
Is that the Marty Jannetty season?
That was actually the one I wrote a paper on because
right.
it was really great. This one was the one where they had like Earthquake, and it was like the Sandman, Sensational Sherry, Chris Adams, Harley Race, so on. It's just a really good show. Like, you don't have to be a wrestling fan to like it. It's like this very humanist drama at the center of it. So
I am curious because it's a Vice show, and I don't even know if Vice exists at this point. So
yeah,
they do.
Their one thing they do, I think. They do specials about stuff that's gone wrong, or they have a darker side.
Well, they also get grants because that's a Canadian produced show. So they also get grants from the federal government to help.
They do, because I was looking that up too because I was genuinely curious. But I recommend it because it's just a good series. I mean, it's not perfect. I could nitpick things, but But
they are remarkably well done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. We are not done yet because I haven't mentioned my number 1 yet.
Please.
Okay. It might actually have been Woody's as well. Thoughts and prayers. It's Shogun.
Shogun.
Oh, okay.
Shogun.
Another one I got to binge.
I need to see that.
Okay.
Just absolute quality from top to bottom.
That's an FX show, right?
Yes. Great visuals. I like the fact that they didn't go the easy way because there are a lot of subtitles and many people don't like that. And I also like the way that they solved the language problem because in the book, they speak Latin to each other. Blackthorn and Mariko, I think her name was. And in the series, they speak Portuguese.
Is it, because I remember seeing reruns of the Richard Chamberlain show.
Mm-hmm.
Is it is it closer to the book or closer to the original TV show?
I mean, I read the book a million years ago, but
it felt, the one episode I saw, it felt stylized for now.
Yes.
Very much so.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't had another look at the Richard Chamberlain one. I don't know if it's aged well.
I'm going to say it probably does not hold up.
Yes. Yeah, probably not. But
like Love Boat holds up.
Yeah, good comparison. No, yeah, Shogun is amazing, fantastic. And cool. If I can add a honorable mention,
I'm sorry, we're at time.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Okay. No, actually, I was going to mention Blue Lights season 2.
Huh? Cop spinoff?
Yes, in Northern Ireland.
Oh.
In Belfast.
Oh, Jesus.
I've talked about this show.
You brought that up, and I'm putting that on my list, yeah.
It's amazing. It's intense, but with enough levity and humor to, not make you want to walk into traffic after each episode. And fantastic, and the characters feel real. They are not walking stereotypes, and yeah, awesome. Really, really good stuff there.
That does remind me, my honorable mention is Bodkin. I completely botched and forgot that show, but that's another good one. I knew Drew bailed on that one after a couple, but it did get better. It's hard to, because it's Will Forte is a podcaster, and they're trying to solve a mystery in some small fictional Irish town. But it's a murder mystery show.
Will Forte
flush it out. Yeah. But he's not being like his SNL character.
Yeah.
Even though at the first few minutes he does feel like it's going to be, but plays straight, so it's good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So, quick recap. Number 5, for me, number 5 was The Franchise. Number 4, updated Black Doves. Number 3, A Gentleman in Moscow. Number 2, Say Nothing. And number 1, Shogun. Hector, what was your list?
I forgot.
Okay, that's okay.
No, I know I had the 2 comedy specials, the Taylor Tomlinson and the Nate Bargatze, and then I had the Penguin and Tragically Hip. I can't remember what I said for 5 though now.
That's okay. That's all right.
You could rewind it.
Yes. Nick, what about you?
Number 5 was Bear season 3, 4 The Sympathizer, 3 Curb Your Enthusiasm season 12. Number 2, The Agency season 1, and number 1 was Hack season 3.
All right, thank you, Mike. What about you? What was your top 5?
Tie for 5 with Austin and Dinosaur. Number 4 was Slow Horses. 3 was Unprisoned / Tragically Hip, assist to John Mutford. 2, Man on the Inside. Number 1 was Mr. Bates versus the Post Office.
All right, thank you, Kyle. What about you?
Number 5 was Kill Tony, episode number 672. Number 4, Phil Wang in there, baby. Number 3, Sam Morrill, You've Changed. Number 2, Neil Brennan, Crazy Good. And number 1, Nate Bargatze, Your Friend.
Awesome, thank you. John, your top 5, please.
Agatha All Along. This is the Zodiac speaking. The Tragically Hip documentary, Saturday Night Live season 50, and the final season of What We Do in the Shadows at number 1.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, so we can either call it a night or talk about music if you want. Mike, you're holding up something?
Yeah, I got people trying to sleep in my house, so I'm going to be very quick. But
okay.
Is there anybody else who has music, or is it just me?
I gotta go.
I could talk about like 1 or 2, but like nothing crazy.
Cal, you have to go for real?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, that's unfortunate. Well, thank you for...
You guys do without me.
Okay.
I gotta go check on Woody, so it's cool.
Should I braid the plunger? No, I'm kidding.
Jesus.
Hold his hair back.
Well, thank you for your patience, Kyle.
No, please. Thank you for having me. This is great. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy
Yes,
New Year.
absolutely.
Woo, Happy New Year.
Thanks.
Happy New Year.
All right.
Bye, Kyle.
Bye.
All right. So, Mike, please.
Just a couple of honorable quick mentions, and then my 1 and 2 are. I'll talk very fast, but honorable mentions. A shout out to Woody because he recommended a band called Soft Play. They had a record called Heavy Jelly. It's amazing, kind of aggressive punk, perfect for the gym. Judas Priest Invisible Shield, which I picked up in Los Angeles earlier this year when I was hanging out with our friend Pat Francis. Massive Wagons brought a record out called Earth to Grace. Great, straight ahead rock and roll if you're an AC/DC fan, but you maybe like a little bit more seasoning on it. I would go with that. Canadian artist named Devin Townsend, who's a metal guy. He brought out a very melodic metal record this year called Power Nerd. And it's a lot of fun. Again, perfect for the gym. But my number 2 record, 2 and 1 were like so far above everything else, just the amount that I listened to. Frank Turner, Undefeated. Just a great record. The more I listen to it, the more I love it. My son has actually grasped onto it. You know, the lyrics, I've not been shy about how Frank Turner's music's got me through like the last 4 years. Just a great album. But my number 1 album is this one still. And if you listen to the new episode of Rock Solid, our friend Pat's podcast, you're going to hear about this. Shed 7's record, A Matter of Time. They're a Britpop band from the 90s. I was never a huge fan, but I heard the singles because the way that albums come out nowadays, it's 4 singles before the album's ever released, and they're out 3 months before the album. I love them. I picked up the album. The album is perfection. It's probably in my top 25 albums of all time now. It's so great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I never get tired of it. And it came out on January 5th. So it literally, I've had all year with it and I still love it just as much. So
Nice. Awesome. I have nothing on music, so guys, feel free to jump in.
I'll just say my one album that I really liked, I think was the best album of the year for me, was Carly XCX's Brat. I thought that was a really great pop record. And it's weird. She's been around for like over a decade or so, but it feels like this has been her year in terms of like being, I guess, in the mainstream consciousness. So I thought it was a great album, and I hope, she does well with the Grammys and whatnot.
That she will. That's the darling album of every critic this year.
Yeah. And also, I got to give a shout out to The Cure's Songs of a Lost World as well, which was a really good album because, they're a Hall of Fame band. Like, they don't have anything to prove at this point. But they did a really good job with their latest album, which I think was their first in many years. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Agreed.
Nice. Thank you. John, what do you have?
Just two. I have Orville Peck's Stampede and Casey Musgrave's Deeper Well.
Oh, yes.
Both alternative country, I guess you would call it. And with Casey Musgraves, I was really glad that she sort of returned to country a little bit more, or maybe a folkier side, because she was starting to head in a pop direction, which still enjoyed, but just not as much. And Orville Peck is just, most are covers, but what he does with them in his voice are just amazing.
All right. Thank you, John. Hector, do you have anything?
Yeah, I just off the top of my head, because I did not prepare at all. But I will go with starting with Judas Priest, Invincible Shield, which came out this year. I've forgotten that came out towards the beginning of the year. I'm still surprised that they're able to put out great albums in this legacy, especially in 2024. But yeah.
So my mentor, Martin Popoff, who's a very well-respected rock journalist, written 1,000 books, he says it's their greatest album since British Steel.
Wow. I really did like the Turbo, what was it called? Turbo Power or whatever it's called?
Firepower.
Yeah, I really dug that one too.
Painkiller's my favorite. So.
Painkiller's fantastic too, yeah.
I'd have to go back in the discography because it's not fresh in my mind, but it's not a bad call. It is really good.
Or Screaming for Vengeance. Maybe you said not British Steel. Sorry.
All right. I also have, there's a couple artists that it really just, for me, not a lot of people know, but Beth Hart, put out a new album this year, and the album's called You Still Got Me. It's not for everyone, but hit me right in the heartstrings. She writes a couple songs that is really for her and her husband, and they just, it's really sweet, just like dedicated to her for all the, she has a history of like going through drug and alcohol, and he really helped her through tough times, and it feels like more of a tribute to him, even though he's alive, but just like a very much a love album. So it's very sweet. Will Hogue put out an album this year called Tenderhearted Boys. He's kind of in the Petty-esque, this Americana country blues, and it's just a really amazing album. Anything he puts out, I'll listen to. And I got to see him again this year. So he's Tenderhearted Boys. And then this is a fresh one, just because I just heard this like 2 weeks ago. But Shabuzi, Where I've Been Isn't Where I'm Going. He put out an album this year. Shabuzi was not on my radar. And when his SNL performance, he put out a new song called Good News, and it just, I sat there in tears. Like, I was like, this is, I can't, what am I doing with my life? I don't know where I'm going. You know, just had a complete drop and just whatever. Anyway, so yeah, I went and just listened to everything he put out, and that album that he came out with this year is just, it's just awesome. So
after hearing Tipsy, I thought it was, I enjoyed it, but it felt like a one-hit wonder type of
for sure
person. So yeah, I was shocked by that too. Yeah.
Nice. All right. So yeah, I guess that covers it. We lost a few people along the way.
A few good men.
A few good men, yes. Regular listeners know where to find you guys, so we can skip the socials if that's okay.
Good with me.
It's been a really fun episode. I hope listeners will enjoy it as much as we did. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Do we do our top 5 EETF episodes?
We might.
This one might make it.
Yeah.
make the one spot.
Yeah, it should be up there. Yes, absolutely.
What is 2025 bringing to the podcast?
Oh, that's a good question. No, that's a legit good question.
Well, I got to binge all these nominees and shit because I know my list immediately will change. I'm like, oh, wait, no, my top 5 is now everything I saw in the last week.
But honestly, about the podcast itself, I don't see any major changes. Movies, TV, and every now and then a little bit of music for the year in review. Oscars preview in March, I think. But I just wanted to take a few seconds to thank you guys for your patience and for your efforts in making this a good, fun listen for everyone. So respect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. So that's it. And we will see you guys next year. Thanks.
Happy New Year.
Au revoir.
Happy New Year.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.